Hey y'all, and welcome to the third episode we're doing here, interviewing each head football coach in Wilson County. Today I'm with Coach Crouch here at Green Hill High School. How are you doing today, Coach?
I'm doing good, man. Welcome to the Hill.
Awesome, sweet. It's great to be here. The facilities here are absolutely, amazing. The school looks great. The field looks great. Just everything about this has been awesome to see.
Yeah, we're very blessed with our facilities and thankful for what all we got.
So to start off with Green Hill, you're obviously the newest public school here in Wilson County. You had to kind of establish a culture for the football team, almost not out of thin air, but you had to do it, very quickly with the formation of the new high school. What I'd like to know is how you've been able to carry that culture from when you first started to now with kids graduating, new classes coming in.
Yeah, so we were very intentional when creating our culture because I believe that's what drives a program is the people that make it up instead of, the things on Friday nights. I believe that if you build the person, the human, that's kind of what you want as a program. I took a little bit of things that I learned from my time at Wilson Central with Coach Dedman. Took a couple of things that I learned with my time at St. George's with Coach Lott, and really just took things that I felt like worked really well under both the head coaches that I had and try to blend that and make it a little spin on our own and turn it a little green a little bit. So it's always something that I'm looking to furthermore, and I try to be very intentional with our culture and developing our kids and developing our program. And we started from 6 years old now with our youth program, going to the middle school, and now connecting to the high school. So that's been probably the most important thing I would say. Starting a new school is you don't have an alumni base, you don't have people that have graduated for 30 years. So that's kind of, I called Coach Rice at Rockville, called Coach Hester at Ravenwood, and try to pick their minds a little bit. And that was probably the most overwhelming thing is create a culture, create buy-in, create things that people in the community are proud of.
Awesome. Yeah. So I've seen a couple pictures of you during practice, kind of getting into things with guys, or not getting into things, but in the heat of things, showing guys how it's going and stuff like that. I was wondering, during practice, what's your style of coaching during practice? Are you kind of demonstrating things yourself, or do you kind of have a set schedule that you just manage the flow of?
So I like to get around with the kids. I wear cleats to practice. I'll get out and run routes sometimes is way past my time, but played a little receiver and played a little DB. Yeah. So those are the two positions that I'm pretty particular with. I get out with the kids. I'll hold a pad and let a down block happen and somebody get kicked. I enjoyed playing football. I enjoyed being around football. I was a junkie when I was growing up with the game of football and always being around it. So I would like to consider myself a part of the flow of practice. Luckily, I've got Coach Valkyrie keeps us on task. We go right on top of the, we don't go anything over, but we got the clock running out here and he keeps us rolling. And then I get out and go offense and defense and try to, hype that group up. I think they take a little bit of a culture of our coaches and how they play. So I want them to play fun. I want them to have fun. I want them to jump around. I want them to have some energy. So I try to model that through practice.
Awesome. So here at Green Hill, you've already had quite a few firsts. You've been to the playoffs already. You had a region championship 2 years ago. You had that 11-win season. For the culture that you have here at Green Hill, do you think it's more important to focus on the success that you've had in the past and try and beat that? Or do you think it's more important to kind of stay in the moment, kind of like only game that matters is the next one mentality?
Yeah, so and full transparency, in 21, I didn't do a good enough job of staying in the moment. Things that I was always looking to the next game, and the playoffs were trying to prepare. And I didn't do a good job to staying in that moment as a young coach and trying to really take in those seasons. Those seasons are very special. In the 6 or 7 years that I've been a part of other programs. We went to the third round of the playoffs twice at Wilson Central. Had been in the playoffs twice at St. George's, and then here, we've 2 years eligibility. We've been both years, but going to the third and fourth round of the playoffs doesn't happen much, and it's something that I wish I would have, soaked it in a little bit more of. But when thinking about years past, I think you got to take a step back and look at each team and kind of, live in that moment. So I've been trying to be I try to stay with my team, try to stay with my kids that I'm in, and not try to look too far in the future. Although I think we have a bright, good group that's coming up, I want to make sure that I'm giving my senior class everything I've got.
Awesome. So with both of you, Green Hill and Mount Juliet, basically in the same city. I'm pretty sure it's 4 miles from here to Mount Juliet. What's the advantages, but also maybe some of the disadvantages that come with being so close to what a lot of people would say is your biggest rival?
So I think if you've come to any one of the two games as a a patron or somebody that's in the community between us and Mount Juliet, I think you've seen what high school football is about.
Yeah.
I mean, it was the game that we played over there in 21. It's completely packed stadium. You know, I get chills thinking about it. The game here, we have people wrapped around the entire stadium watching. And you know, as far as high school football goes, I think that is what makes it the greatest game ever. And you got such a program that's so rich in tradition and history and has won continually and still continues to win with Mount Juliet. And then we're trying to build our own path, you know, trying to navigate our own waters and having some success is built off the people that are in it. But I think we've generated that success because there's a pride here in this area with football, even you know, with our youth league and with Mount Juliet's youth league. You know, I think just people enjoy that that process of playing and putting a logo across their chest instead of on the back, and playing for that school. So, man, it's been advantage wise, man. I think that alone, just having a program of two programs that are consistently putting out great kids, and then some disadvantages. I just think that us starting new and having an alumni base and having people that are coming back, and we're starting to get into that routine of constant you know, support. That's something that I'm encouraged by and want to continue to do. But man, as far as high school football goes, I don't think there's a better rivalry right now other than Mount Juliet and Green Hill.
Awesome. So, I mean, speaking of rivalries, we got the new region coming up this year with all the 6A teams here in Wilson County, moving from 5A to 6A. What do you think that region's going to do for not only the rivalries you already have with Mount Juliet or Wilson Central that were in 5A with you last year, but maybe new rivalries with teams like Lebanon that stayed in 6A and you're joining them up there?
Yeah, so growing up, again, I talked about being just a high school junkie and football was our thing. You had Gallatin, rich tradition, players that really care about growing up and being a part of Gallatin. Warren County is the same way. They grow up wanting to be, you know, a Raider, and then you add Lebanon into the mix, which, you know, Lebanon has always had a very successful program. I remember when I played in high school ball, they were one of the teams that put us out of the playoffs one year, back when 04. And they had a heck of a team and a heck of a squad. Coach Medley and then we're coaching it, and always had tradition in all three of those schools. So adding us, the new program, to that region, man, I'm excited about. You know, Friday nights at 6A. We've been in 5A for the last 2 years. There's something about playing at the highest classification in Tennessee. It just means more, kind of SEC logo. But
hey, yo. Unfortunately, towards the end of the video, when I was interviewing Coach Crouch, I was asking him about some of the players he wanted to highlight for this upcoming season. And unfortunately, it's just so hot outside today that my phone overheated and we lost that footage. So I'm just going to do it myself and bring these players to y'all. So first up, we got on defense, number 37, Gabe March. He's a great ball hawk in the secondary, had some huge pass breakups and interceptions last season. Up next, we got number 7, Aiden Greer. This kid, to me, is the very definition of a hard-hitting middle linebacker. He's got great sideline-to-sideline speed, and the film on this guy is great. Next, we got number 42, Cale Burrows. This kid is a monster in the trenches. Stands at 6'2", he's 220. He's got really good fast hands, and he's a monster in the weight room. I saw him on Twitter squatting 440 like it was nothing. And the thing is, he's only going to get stronger. Next, we got number 8, Nico Duffy. This kid is an amazing all-around middle linebacker. Watching his film, the thing that impressed me the most was his ability to fill almost any hole with just amazing speed. He's got good awareness, and he's got really, really good hard hitting. Coach Crouch himself said this kid's going to be some awesome job security for any college coaches coming up this year. Then to round out on defense, we got number 34, Carlos Owens. This guy's a great tackler. Last year, he had 6 tackles for loss in only a span of 5 games. That's some awesome production. Moving on to offense, we got number 19, Braden Jones. He's got some great hands, and he's also a track and field guy, so he's got some awesome speed. He's going to be a great deep threat for this Green Hill team coming up this year. Up next, we got number 27, Dallas Jackson. He can play both sides of the ball based on the film that I watched, but I'm going to include him here on the offense because I think that's where he has the biggest opportunity to shine this year. He has some awesome quick feet, great quick twitch muscles. He can juke out almost anybody you put him up against. And last but certainly not least, we got to give some love to the big guys. Number 52, Aiden Card. Awesome hard-nosed center, going to be a great anchor for this offensive line coming up this year. And that's going to do it for this episode, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned for the next episode. We're going to be interviewing Coach Chuck Gentry at Lebanon High School.